Eagle Talk Show, where we talk about relationship and important life matters. I remain your host, Shulamite Ojo, and I am live on Eagle Studio. Today, I'm going to be discussing a very important topic, but before I move into that, I would like to show appreciation to our viewers, those who took their time to go to our Facebook, our Instagram, our YouTube to watch our show from Monday to Sunday. We say thank you so much and we love you. And we as Eagle Studio team will bring in the best and always the best to the viewers so that they can see something to always smile about. Thank you so much and we love you. Well, like I said, I bring a very important topic, and today's topic, I'm going to be talking about depression. First of all, what is depression? How does it affect us? Because today a lot of people are being depressed. In fact, depression is everywhere. Depression wherever we go, and it doesn't matter the age. It is the olden days they will say depression is only for the old. Maybe he's thinking age has reached the person, he started getting depressed. No, but it happens to everybody nowadays. It happens to the youth, it happens to young ones, it happens to a lot of people. Then what causes depression, and how can we as we in society, how can we young and old, how can we cope with depression? First of all, let's describe depression. Depression can be categorized in so many aspects. What are causes of depression? Anxiety, fear, grief. And how does that grief happen? What happens when we are being grieving? We can grieve over our loved ones. Maybe we have somebody who we love so much and the person happens to die all of a sudden. And also divorce. Divorce can also give someone depression, can always make someone to be depressed when we happen to, maybe we are not expecting him and somebody just divorce us. Even a breakup in a relationship can cause depression, and also loss of job. A lot of people are deemed depressed because they lost their job. When you lost your job, you see how you react. And also unrelenting sickness. Maybe you have a family members or you yourself, you have been battling with sickness. Every day you are always being sick, from one sickness to another. Some might be stroke, some might be so many things. You become depressed because you don't know how to stand up. You are not standing up, you cannot stand up again, you cannot do whatever you want to do. You can't even help out in so many ways. You become depressed. And when you are being depressed, it can lead to many ways. It can lead to death. How can we cope with the depressed? So a lot of people, when they feel that they are a failure, they become so depressed. Because they feel like, oh, I am a failure, I can't achieve this. And a lot of people are like they are fighting for what they cannot reach. They are putting their hand, unable to see a way out of a bad situation. Because the person becomes depressed. Like a lot of it happens around me. You see so many people, young ones, committing suicide. Why? Because they are depressed. Maybe because the house rent is too much on them, there is no job. You know, when you are being depressed, when you are looking up to something and you can't achieve it. Sometimes it's how you look at yourself. You look at yourself and feel you are not worthy. You can't do it. You can't fight this. A lot of people that are killing themselves, they are committing suicide, is because maybe their parents have sold their land. A lot of family have tried for some people. So you see young boys that why they are killing themselves, committing suicide, is because maybe they've made certain promises. They've collected loans, they've done a lot of things, and they could not pay back. They could not meet to the standard of others. Then they become so depressed. Some people, they've sold their family land just to bring them to Cyprus or to travel out abroad, to leave the country and travel out. And at the end of the day, you see the person not able to achieve what they came here for. Then what happened? They become depressed. All they think at that point is how to commit suicide, especially when there's nobody to help them out from that situation. A lot of things have been causing so many people to feel depressed. Sometimes you are sick. There was one certain time I happened to be an example of somebody who was depressed. At that point in time, I was very sick. My sickness was so terrible. I became so dry, I became so lean, and there was no solution. I was drinking from one medicine to the other, taking native, going to the clinic, going to the hospital, and they will tell me, oh, they didn't say anything about your sickness, don't worry, and you're getting thinner, you're getting leaner. I became so depressed. At one point, I feel like I want to kill myself. I feel like, what am I living for? So such person, if I don't have people that always support me around, I might end up killing myself. I might end up committing suicide. That is what is called depression. Depression is very, very bad. And how can we? It's just to trust in God. To trust in God that no matter what, everything can be possible. Yeah, it happens. The same critical times have to deal with over here. A lot of things, a lot of critical things are happening in our days. And how can we cope with depression? Please, when you are being depressed, look for somebody that is reasonable, not unreasonable people that will still judge you. Because you see somebody that is being depressed, how they feel. At that moment, they feel worthless. At that moment, their thinking is very fragile. Their emotion is very fragile. Anything you tell them will hit them, either in the wrong way or in the right way. You can't see somebody that, some people will just compare to your problem. You can't see somebody that is depressed and you meet the person and you're telling the person, this thing is not, why did you do like this? Maybe the person comes towards you for help and tell you, why did you do like this? If I not do like this now, why did you do like this? You should have done like this. You're not at that point. When you see somebody being depressed, at that point it's not time for judgment. When the person is okay, mentally, emotionally, then you can actually tell the person, this is what you want to hear, or this is what you want to tell them. But at that moment, all they need is love and support. So whenever we see a depressed person around us, let us notice in time. Let us take care of the person. Let us appreciate the person. Tell the person sweet words. Even if the person is wrong, let's learn to love the person, and let's also learn as neighbors to check upon each other. Check upon your family. Check upon your friends. You don't know what they are passing through. You see some people wearing clothes, doing makeup. You don't know what they are passing through emotionally. You see some people walking on the road. That's how you see, this person just died. You say, I saw this person yesterday. The person looks alright. No, the person, you don't know the emotional trauma the person has been passing through. So how you want to do is to always learn to ask questions. Even if they are not opening up to you. Yes, if you are depressed, you have to open up to people. People that are wise, people who think well. Tell them, this is what I'm facing. Then they'll be able to help you out. Like me, my grandmother always tell me, always say whatever it is. Like me now, people will say I don't keep secrets, especially about myself. If anything happened to me, I will always talk about it. I look for a friend and talk about it to the person. Because me, I don't know, I don't have emotions. I always cry easily. Any small thing, I don't start to cry. I'll start crying everywhere. I start thinking. Me, give me 2 days. If I'm depressed, give me 2 days. You see me, my neck will become a borehole. I'll be so dried up. I will not even have appetite for food. And always stay with loved ones. Always surround yourself with people. Even despite you don't like people, you're not this kind of person. No, I'm not this kind of person that communicates with people. I don't like to talk to people. I don't like to associate myself with people. But always look for people. Always be around people. The little jokes, the little talk will turn their life around. You might be depressed, you might be thinking, the person will just bring up one joke that is not even funny. You start beginning to laugh. That is how you begin to forget about things that is bothering you. A lot of things have been bothering us. Some people have lost their job, especially in Cyprus where there is no work. You come to this country, there is no work. The house bills, the water bill, everything is expensive. The feeding, accommodation, everything is expensive. You begin to think. Especially when your rent is about to expire, you are thinking of another 2 million naira to spend on a house rent. You begin to think, you begin to feel depressed. There's so many people are in this island, they've not eaten. And it's not only here. In Nigeria, things are worse. People are dying of lack of feeding. No jobs, nothing. So how do you help people? It's to always check up on them. Always make sure that they are okay. Emotionally. physically they are okay. Some people are physically okay, but emotionally they are not okay. Mentally they are not well. So how do you know? Is to check up on. Always have something to talk about. Always make the person to want to talk to you. Always